Find the values of x for which 3x squared minus 6x minus 8 is equal to 0. Give each answer correct to one decimal place. This question involves an equation with an x squared term in it. We refer to this as a quadratic equation. To solve these, we can use a quadratic formula, which is on page 20 of our formula book. This tells us that the roots of the equation ax squared plus bx plus c equals to 0 are x is equal to minus b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. The a refers to the number in front of the x squared. Here, a is equal to 3. The b refers to the number in front of the x, and here b is equal to minus 6. The c refers to the number by itself, so we have c is equal to minus 8. Now, let's sub these values into our formula. At this point, we can do some simplification. Minus 6 is equal to plus 6. The calculation under the square root, minus 6 squared minus 4 times 3 times minus 8, comes out as 132. And beneath the line, 2 times 3 is 6. The next thing to do is to deal with this plus minus sign. This means that we need to split into two cases. In the first case, we replace the sign with a plus, and in the second case, we replace the sign with a minus. We can turn to our calculator to calculate the resulting expression in each of these cases. The question states that we must give each answer correct to one decimal place, so we'll have to do some rounding. So our final answer is that x is equal to 2.9 and x is equal to minus 0.9. Find the coordinates of the minimum point of the function f of x is equal to 3x squared minus 6x minus 8, where x is an element of the real numbers. The following strategy can be used to find minimum or maximum points of a function. The first step is to differentiate the function. The second step is to set the derivative equal to 0 and solve for x. And the third step is to sub in this x value into the original function to find y. So let's start with step 1, differentiating the function. Our function is f of x is equal to 3x squared minus 6x minus 8. Whenever we add or subtract terms, we differentiate each term individually. So let's start with a 3x squared. We have a rule for differentiating powers of x. Multiply down by the power, then reduce the power by 1. We have a power of 2. To differentiate, we multiply down by 2 and then reduce the power from 2 to 1. So 3x squared differentiates to 6x to the 1, which we typically just write as 6x. Now, let's differentiate the minus 6x. And there's a useful differentiation fact which says that a number times x differentiates to the number. So minus 6x differentiates to minus 6. Finally, we have to differentiate the minus 8. And there's a useful fact which says a number by itself differentiates to 0. So this minus 8 will simply differentiate to 0. In other words, it disappears. So we've obtained our derivative. F dashed of x is equal to 6x minus 6. Now for step 2. We must take this derivative we just found, set it equal to 0 and solve for x. Our derivative is 6x minus 6. Setting this equal to 0 yields the equation 6x minus 6 is equal to 0. From here, we can do a bit of algebra to find x. The first step is to add 6 to both sides of the equation. The next step is to divide both sides of the equation by 6. So we found x. It's equal to 1. We were asked to find the minimum point of the function. A point has both an x and a y coordinate. We found the x, but we don't yet know the y. To find it, we must sub in our x value into the original function. The original function was f of x is equal to 3x squared minus 6x minus 8. We'll need to sub in x equal to 1 into this function. So we found that the x coordinate of the minimum point is 1 and the y coordinate of the minimum point is minus 11. So our final answer is that the minimum point is 1, minus 11.